Good morning, everyone. Let's get a couple more people um, going on here real quick. Hopefully I'm live. It shows I'm live. I think I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. Get a couple more people going here. See what we got going on here. Put your questions in the chat and we'll get going. Doing a little differently this morning. Doing a little differently this morning. I'm standing up instead of sitting down doing it. If you like it this way, you'll let me know. A couple more seconds here. We'll get started here for this weekend's system. We're only going to be talking about this weekend. And then maybe go beyond. We'll see what happens here on the chat and then on the weather. Let's see what we got going here. Okay, I'll go ahead and get started, and if someone jumps in and people want to jump in after, maybe people jump in while I'm talking. I'll catch up on the comments here. So let's go ahead and get started about this major winter storm that's incoming here this weekend for the United States. The system's getting closer to the Pacific Northwest. Let's see if I can draw on here. So the system's getting really close to the Pacific Northwest right now. It's not in the Pacific Northwest currently, but that storm system will be coming towards the Pacific Northwest. And we have two systems going to come together as one system and bring the snowfall potential across the central and eastern part of the United States. So let's go ahead and look at the United States view here. This is going out to Sunday. Let's go back here. Let's go to the regions. Let's see what we got. Here's your regions, the central United States. So you got Kansas, Missouri, so on and so forth. So as we head over here, you've got the warm air. This is going to be a big system. I just want to emphasize that to you. We've got the warm Gulf moisture going to the north here. We got the warm Gulf moisture going north, and all this Gulf moisture. I mean, we're gonna have to keep an eye on severe weather for the south central into the southeastern United States. For some sort of severe weather, maybe some tornadic activity across the area. Sorry, my mouse is not wanting to work with me. So once we get going here, trying to organize something real quick. So we've got the moisture really starting to act together. Brown. This is about 3 a.m. on Saturday. Let's go ahead and go to 6 a.m. Sunday. This is 6 a.m. Sunday. You see your cold fronts right here. But look at what if this was a southern event, we would need the cold air to go further south than it is to this model, to the European model. But it's not. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on it dramatically. You've got really cold temperatures to the north. This is the area where I am gonna keep my most eye on for that heavy snowfall and that's your area that I'm gonna be keeping an eye on for the heavy snowfall potential. So if you're in Kansas City, St. Louis, you're gonna need to keep an eye on the forecast very carefully over the next few days. It's Thursday. We're about close to we're about 100 some hours out from this, 140, almost 200 hours out from this system actually hitting the United States and coming in. So it's not that too far out. Now, I'm gonna circle, I'm gonna go to another color here. Go to blue color here. I'm gonna circle the area that I think has the ice potential. Your greatest ice potential, guys. Somewhere in this area, right up in here. That blue circle is your ice potential. We've got a greater chance of ice as well. That ice potential is going to be really closely. It's going to be confined to where the center of low pressure goes. Does it track further south? Does it come further north? If the track goes further north, and you've got greater ice potential, that blue circle is going to go farther north. If it tracks further south, that blue circle right there, it's going to stay the same. And then you've got more snowfall totals to in that red circle area. So if it takes a far south track, so if it goes to far south track here, like southern Arkansas and that north central Mississippi area to Alabama, you could possibly put some ice and snowfall potential into Arkansas. So that's why the track is going to be very important to see what happens with the system. So let's take off the writing here. So that's why I'm keeping my close eye on it. So let's keep going forward here on temperatures. So these are your actual temperatures. Let's look at your feels like temperatures. See how that changes? So this is about 11 a.m. Sunday, according to the European model. Let's go to the 0Z European. You can see your difference in temperatures here. It's 62 according to the Euro model in central Arkansas. Oklahoma, north of Oklahoma City, you're at in the single digits as feels like temperature. So you're talking about Arctic air coming in right behind the system. You're talking about really cold air as the system hits, and you're talking about really heavy snowfall potential. I'll show you all that here in a minute of snowfall totals and the future radar as we get into the system. So there's that. And then you can see there's that Arctic air by Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. It comes into most of the state of Arkansas. Then by Monday morning, by 6 o'clock, let's go there, yep, by 6 o'clock, yeah, it feels like temperatures in the negatives in northwest Arkansas, central and eastern Arkansas, you're in the teens as it feels like temperatures. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this, y'all. The trends are trending colder for next week. Seeing some of the models showing snow for next week in the southern U.S., so I can't count that out because of the cold air that's going to be in place with the Arctic air. But we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Let's go back. Let's go, yeah, right here. So let's go back to Saturday here. Let's go timeout with the European model. Wants to show for the snowfall potential and that ice potential. So you can see here your system coming off the Rockies. Excuse me. So your system is coming off the Rockies. It's coming off the Rockies here. We're going to have to keep an eye on what it does as it hits the Rockies. Where does that low pressure go? The key to the thing is the track. The track is going to be very important. Just want to emphasize that to you. If you live in Missouri, I want to emphasize that as well. You've got pretty good solid chance of ice if the European model is right here. You've got starting as ice in you've got to start as ice here in Kansas City over all the way to far western parts of Kansas. Nebraska seeing some light accumulation of snowfall as well as north of Kansas City. But let's go forward here. Forward, that heavy ice potential looks to me is starting to grow a little bit more. There's your low pressure right here. Your ice potential is starting to grow a little bit more. You've got light to moderate snow accumulation across Nebraska, Iowa, light snow across Iowa into Illinois. And then And then this is about 9 a.m. on Sunday. This is lunchtime Sunday now. So we're talking about heavy snowfall to Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, all the way into the Mid-Atlantic. You're talking about heavy ice potential. If the Euro model is right, talking about some significant icing occurring across north of Springfield, Missouri, into southern Illinois, into Indiana, into Kentucky, into the mountains of Tennessee, and maybe even northern Oklahoma could see some icing and some heavy snow potential there as well. And then the system should be out of here. The system should be out of here by Monday morning. So the European motor is a little faster with the progressive of the system. But now let's go back and let's talk about the snowfall totals here. Sorry, I'm using a different thing here. So let's go to the snowfall totals here. And as we go forward here, we can see as we go forward here, this is about Sunday at about 5 a.m. It's not going to be exactly like this because the models are usually wrong, but some of them can be right. But as you can see here, we have the heaviest snowfall potential to parts of north central Kansas into northern Missouri. Watch as we go further into the runs. This is Monday by 3 a.m. Look at that. You've got a solid 8 to 12 inches of snowfall across Indiana, central Indiana, southern Indiana, central and southern Illinois, parts of maybe even to north central and central Missouri, and to parts of northeastern and eastern Kansas. Talk about some pretty good solid snowfall for this weekend. Now, let's line that up with the Canadian model. Switch over to Canadian. Canadian model is a lot further south, but it's also showing that same area. It's aligning with the. It's also aligning with the European model. Go over that as well. So, you know, we could have that chance of the deformation band coming into portions of Indiana, Illinois, maybe into parts of Missouri. So you're going to have to keep an eye on southern Indiana, southern Illinois, parts of Ohio and Kentucky for that deformation band as it comes in, as the low pressure exits out. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that as well. But that all will change. It just changes a lot. Here's the GFS. Yeah, this one that's a lot bullish right here. You got the GFS model showing almost a foot of snowfall, over a foot of snowfall, up to 2 feet of snowfall if you're talking with the GFS model from the 06Z model run. The 0Z model run is a bit farther north, but it's going south as well. So all I want to say is this weekend's going to be travel impacts are going to be not good to travel at all if you're going up to Missouri or whatever. If you're going up to the Midwest, the central United States, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. And we're also going to keep an eye on the icing potential. Haven't talked too much about it, but we could see a couple power outages with the icing potential. Depends on if we get a lot of wind with this storm. We could have a lot of icing, and then top of that, the wind, and your wind gusts above 30 miles per hour. If we do have that across the areas that are seeing the ice and snow, we could have significant travel impacts and possible light to minor to moderate power outages as well. I don't think power outages are a huge concern, but it's something to keep an eye on over the next few model runs in the next few days as we track the system as it comes in. And then you can see that's the GFS model showing that. Canadian model showing the ice potential for a bit further south, but it's also showing that ice across southeastern Missouri into southern Indiana and Illinois. And then a European model, 0Z European model, showing that as well as further south as well, but get closer to the Springfield, Missouri. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on what happens here. Do we get a deformation band instead of the icing potential. We could have a dry slot come in. The dry air could come north and cut off some of that snow accumulation across central Illinois, central Indiana. Possibility that that dry air comes in quicker than the cold air. The dry air comes in quicker than that area, but we'll see what happens. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it and see what happens. But I'll definitely keep an eye on it for y'all. I will go live later today again, and see what's gonna go on with the after the 12Z model runs. I should be going live about another live stream should be going about say 12:30, and we'll see what the afternoon models have to show. But again, I just want to mention this to y'all. We're gonna keep in travel impacts are not recommendable this weekend if you're in the Missouri area. I wouldn't travel at all. This is going to be a huge travel concern across Missouri, north of Arkansas, I think. So, and then we could have severe weather from central Arkansas down south as the system moves down to the south. As the system moves to the east, severe weather to the south, same areas that got impacted last weekend with the tornado outbreak now and that. So I'll definitely keep an eye on it for y'all. And I'll get another live stream going later today. And I'll definitely keep y'all updated. I just wanted to give y'all a quick live update on this, and I'll keep y'all updated. Y'all have a great weekend. Y'all have a great week. We all have a great rest of y'all's morning. I'll catch y'all later for another live stream. All right, see y'all guys.